All right, we are going to kick this weekend into overdrive. Yeah, I know. Yeah, sure. We're on Thursday, so it's not quite the weekend, but oh boy, here we go. Now, this is officially the biggest currency hunt that I've done here on this channel. This is just over $7,000. Okay, yeah, I'm doing a little bit of a flexing. This represents, ladies and gentlemen, and this is kind of like the opportunity that's involved with something like this. This is June to the end of August eBay profits sitting right here. This is net profits. So this is after shipping fees. This is after eBay fees and any other fees that's associated with it. Yes, that is my take for a 3-month period. A little bit on the low side, understandably, because it's the middle of summer, but I figure, hey, it's still a pretty good chunk of change. So what we're going to do is make it a little bit fun. So we got a nice random mix of hundos, 50s, 20s, and even one $5 bill in there in the mix. And we are going to, like we did last time when I went through $6,000, looking for some of those fancy serial numbers. We're going to be looking for birthday notes, star notes. Ooh, man, it's going to be just, this is going to be like a thirst trap for all you hunters out there that I'm sure you guys will appreciate. So, we're going to get a little bit closer. How about we just go ahead and jump right in and see what this has to offer. Nice big old thick stack there. So, yeah, we're here again. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm also on TikTok if you guys like more shorter videos. I have nothing but 1 minute and less videos on there. So there's a lot of folks that prefer that. One guy even unsubscribed to my YouTube channel and followed me on TikTok. And I'm like, okay, whatever. All right, whatever floats your boats. So yeah, here's our first note. Nothing spectacular and no mismatches, nothing like that. 57630315. So when it comes to birthday notes, I want to find personally the notes that are oriented kind of like the English way. I don't know if that's even the way to call it, but 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the date, and then 4 digits for the year. And oftentimes, those particular notes are going to be a lot more highly coveted. So just something to let you guys know that's what we're looking for. But yeah, we're going to start it off, I guess, with the big bills because that's what's on top. So yeah, preferably you want to do these with ones because, with ones you could get a whole heck of a lot more than you do, with the larger bills, and represents a bigger chance to go out there and find some of those much more, enticing type of finds where if you're into like reselling, you can make a lot more money off of ones and fives than you normally would on, say, 20s, 50s, and 100s. So anyways, yeah. So how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing A-okay. We are in the midst of fall. We are officially in the fall season. Generally a much busier time of year for the hobby. Understandably so, because, there are some folks out there, especially of the older variety, that want to go out and actually enjoy a vacation. Who's that? I don't know. 903. Okay, well, I hope that's not an account number. Well, it's too short to be an account number, but I hope it's nothing important. That's a teller stamp. In case you guys are wondering, people have asked me about, some kind of off-color printing or something to that effect on there, and that's a teller stamp. So that was applied after the note was printed at some point. It's kind of a marker, and that's writing. That'll drag down the value. That's another teller mark right there. That blue writing does do a number on grading and value, so keep that in mind. But yeah, $100 bills, not my personal favorite to hunt through. If you looked at mycurrencycollection.com and checked out the Star Note lookup, you're going to find that there's Not really a ton of different notes, note wise, that have a low print run. There's a few, there's a few under 300 and say 320,000 print run. But all in all, it's a rather lackluster type of series now. Um, Again, you just never know what you're going to come across. Maybe we'll come across a print error or a butterfly fold. I think there has been a few people have found butterfly folds on the brand new, well, newish. Someone teased me that I said, "Oh, the brand new 2017 A series," and guess what? I wasn't wrong because that date only changes when the Treasury Secretary and the Treasurer changes. So what they'll do, the BEP that is, they'll print the notes for a series. It says series and not just the date. The series can go on anywhere from 4 to 6 years. So we could be in 2023 with notes brand new printed, might I add, that still say 2017A. So until there's a changeover in the Secretary of the Treasury and the Treasurer of the United States, that's when this will be modified. You never know. They might do a series 2017B, and we could be in the year 2024. So again, you just never know. If you looked at the dates of notes when it comes to the series back going, 40, 50 years, you'll find that in 1988, they printed those all the way up to 1993 or something like that. So a little example for you. But anyways, getting back to what we're really supposed to be doing here, checking out some of these notes. Nothing to really scream and shout about other than the fact that there's a little bit more buying power with these notes, but nothing in the way of fancy serial numbers or anything like that. All right, so first interesting one, 777. You know what? People have actually attempted to resell these. I've seen a few. And the best notes to sell, the 777s or 888s, because in culture those are considered lucky numbers, slot machines, that sort of thing. Dollar bills, people have sold those for like $5 to $10. Now I'm not going to say that they're not really collectible, because if someone's paying $5 to $10, which is well above face value for a dollar bill, then obviously there is a collectible component to it. And again, the collectability and the audience for these notes is far and wide. I mean, what we're looking at here is a world-renowned, recognized form of currency. And then people will say, well, those are no better than toilet paper. Hence, my old, I guess, little logo thing, with the toilet paper with the $100 bills on there before I changed it over. But it is what it is. And, people still tease me, even to this day, like, yeah, that stuff ain't worth anything. I'm like, well, secondary market sales say otherwise. So there's plenty of concrete evidence out there to support some of the data and some of the information that I tell you guys. But there are some people who are just, got a head full of cauliflower, I guess. I just don't understand this hidden kind of secondary market. It's like the same way. It's like, why did Beanie Babies sell for what they did? Why were they widely collected and coveted back in the 90s? Well, for that very reason, right? And then now we look back and kind of laugh at it and all that. But one thing I can tell you is with collectible currency and coinage, I mean, that is a passion and an audience unlike any other. And it's a very strong market right now for coins and currency and numismatics in general. That's another teller mark right there, in case you were wondering. So we're going to kind of speed it up a little bit here. Plus, we're also looking for kind of like misalignments, little ink bleeds and the seals and stuff like that. There might be one or so that come across, but for those particular minor type of errors, especially on a larger denomination note, it's really not going to add a whole lot of value. But on a dollar bill, that's a completely separate thing. You could afford to ask, that $5 to $10, which, would be pretty well. And that's what I do. Yeah, I mean, you see this big stack of cash here, which represents net profits on my eBay store for a 3-month period. Keep in mind, I sold a lot of those $5 to $10 items, okay, from coins to sports cards to everything. It's a virtual kind of like it's like you put it all in the sink and then you wash it, right? Kind of like doing dishes. So you're going to be washing little spoons and sporks and knives and all that stuff, but also you got the big pans and the hopefully you guys appreciate my analogy with that. But it's like it all goes in the same pool, and I could honestly say that probably 30% of what I have here all comes from those lower dollar value sales. Sure, they're going to be a lot more work to handle, but at the end of the day, who cares? Because it all goes into the pot, and you're able to enjoy. This kind of money will pay people's bills off. They'll pay for mortgages. They'll do all sorts of unimaginable things. So you have to look at that way outside the box. You have to put it out in the universe that's what you want to achieve, and just do it. Don't try. Just go ahead and do it. The same way that we're going through this currency, right? People have said, well, I think I'm going to want to, go through $1,000 in dollar bills. And, that's something they talked about 3 months ago, but haven't executed on it. Just go ahead and do it. It's fine. Going back to our hunt right here, we're really not having any luck whatsoever. We did see a 888 and a serial number, but again, it's on a high denom. It really isn't worth holding on to. So if anything, there's a 999, 0999. Too bad it's not nines all the way across. That would be a little bit too special, right? But at the very least, if the 3 and 6 were nines, then we'd have a binary. A non-standard or non-traditional binary. True binaries are zeros and ones by definition in the hobby. So anyways, we're not close there. We could be, but we're not. So yeah, pretty neat stuff. The best thing that you could do for yourself if you're interested in this, and this is going to prove a lot of the haters and doubters wrong, because again, those same people have commented and said, well, nobody hunts those, nobody buys those things. Or the whole 2017 series about how they're teasing me about that's not new, but it really is. Go on the Bureau of Engraving Printing website, the BEP website. I think it's, what is it? Papermoney.gov or money.gov, or it's what, I don't know. Just type in Bureau of Engraving and Printing in your search and then, find out. Okay, so our first birthday note, obviously, is a long time ago, February 5th, 1115. So something notable happened there. Maybe a Viking, was born. That's very notable. I don't know. You guys ought to go online, type in this date right here, February 5th, 1115, and see what happened. I don't know. But in the true sense of birthday notes, this is a little bit too old, but a historian might enjoy this. Unfortunately, on a $100 bill, that's kind of a tall ask there. So continue on down the line here. We have a pretty massive teller stamp right here. Pretty interesting. Sometimes the teller stamps generally have various like account numbers or route numbers or things like that for that specific bank. Like a bank will have its own location number or something like that. They'll be on the stamp there. And generally, when they're stamped like that, that means the note is legit. It's not counterfeit. So continuing on down the line here, pretty well worn. Coming across a bunch of 2009s. Which I believe was the first year of the colorized notes for hundreds. How about this one? They date well into the future, September 10th, 6689. So you think 4,500 years from now, people will remember the eve of 9/11? That's kind of like what this is. I still think about it to this day. And by the way, 9/11 did pass a few weeks ago. I was, at the time that event occurred, I was actually living in Alaska. And the amount of time from Alaskan time to Eastern time when the whole thing started, it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was actually working a graveyard shift for Fred Meyer, which is a notable grocery chain in the Northwest. So, yeah, it was kind of strange. And I ended up having to drive home to see my dad, my mom and dad. And I actually woke him up out of bed and told him what was going on. And, he's retired military. He was in the Army and Navy. And he was super pissed. I mean, he was screaming at the TV and all this. And this was like at 5:30 in the morning. So, it was a very, very emotional thing for us, much like everybody else. And kind of hard to believe that was 21 years ago. But there were people that are actively looking for that 9/11/2001 serial number. And goodness gracious, those notes sell for, I don't even want to fathom a guess. I think the last one that I do know that did sell was a pretty worn $5 bill, I believe. Sold, I think, on a forum chat page for like $800. So, there are people that are actively looking specifically for that date because of its historical context in it all. More uninspiring type of serial numbers here. We got our lowest serial number so far. Unfortunately, it's not low enough. It needs to be, at the very least, 4 digits. Okay, with 4 leading zeros. That seems to be kind of like the sweet spot for some sort of extra value, even on a $100 bill. So, while interesting looking, it's not quite going to cut the mustard in this case. We got 999s in this one, but yeah, nothing too interesting there. And always look out for the 4-digit repeaters. Those tend to escape most folks, believe it or not. But, yeah, I'm telling you all the tricks of the trade, guys. All of the legit stuff that you guys need to know. All right, I have been in this hobby for 27 plus years. I know a thing or two because I know a thing or two. I was a dealer in the early 2000s for about 18 months. It became way too much work, and I ended up getting out of that, and I couldn't travel anymore, But yeah, I mean, this is a very fun hobby, but you're always constantly learning. You can't be the guy. I had a guy that commented on one of our Facebook posts on the Live Coin Q&A Facebook group, and had said, "Well, I've been a hobby for 40 years and I know it all." I'm like, bullshit. No, you don't. Nobody at 40 years knows everything. It's if you know everything, then why don't you go ahead and recite all the fold catalog numbers for every Civil War token and Civil War store card for me. Yeah, verbatim, without even looking at the damn book. And, he won't, because he's, weak sauce. So, I don't particularly care for folks like that put themselves so high on a pedestal that they feel like they have to be untouchable. And especially when they feel safe typing behind a computer or a laptop, and then, because otherwise you wouldn't dare say that to someone's face. At least not me, because it's not going to go over well. Yeah, you're gonna feel ashamed at that point. But we're all learning. We're all constantly learning, and as long as oh man, look at that! If only the 0 and the 2 were 6 or 8, we'd be in business there. But no dice. Yeah, we're all learning, and again, you have to. Put it out there. And so the interesting with this note here, and I could say, I'm kind of like looking on the camera, and I'm also I'm actually looking to the side, but this is what they call a little bit of an inkwell contamination. The numbers here are a little bit darker compared to, say, some of these newer ones. I don't know if you could see that. So the serial number here is more green than that is. Kind of interesting. The district F6 is in black on the newer notes, and it's in green on the older non-colorized hundreds. Now here's another one right here, so you guys can kind of compare. See, slightly darker, so there is a little contamination of black ink going into the green, but it's not a lot that I would say would be, worthy of pulling out. Although the 999, it's interesting, but it's not enough of a, kind of like fancy to make a difference there. But there you go. This one I saw from a mile away that had nothing on it. Trip 6s on this one. All right, nothing there. This one is probably the most wrinkly, worn one hundo that we've come across so far. All right, I promise we're going to speed it up a little bit so that way you guys can get back to your day. I really do appreciate you guys popping in for this one. And, we're really enjoying the thrill of the hunt. We're going to be doing more of these as we go on through the next 3 months. Because between now and about the middle of December, it's going to be hot and heavy with all sorts of numismatic action. From hunting, you're going to see your favorite influencers, other coin YouTubers that are out there that are going to be doing more hunting. And by the way, a massive TikTok influencer that goes by the name of the coin channel Tube officially is now on YouTube and has like twice as many subs as me through the first 30 days. So obviously he's using his TikTok presence to bolster that. But welcome. I don't know his name, but he's doing his thing on there. And again, there's no shortage of coin YouTubers out there. And we could always use a few more good people that know their stuff in the hobby. So go to whoever you feel you're comfortable and that you're entrusting that person to giving you the correct kind of knowledge. Was anyone born October 98th of 1964? That you know of? Yeah, I didn't think so. So, anyways, yeah, another big presence. I have no doubt in my mind that he's probably way bigger than some of the other guys like Couch and all that. So, there's always, records don't stand for very long, and there's always going to be someone that's going to come in and sweep everybody off their feet. And that's him. He I believe got started on TikTok and ended up amassing just this amazingly huge audience, and that's kind of like TikTok for you. It's the short form videos, right? And that's why I'm on there too. I'm putting up content daily to try and catch up because I've, for the most part, ignored TikTok. And, it wasn't until about a few months ago before I began to see a little bit more of the opportunity and the possibilities with doing content creation on there. So, as a kind of a way of spreading my wings and spreading, because I've also come to the realization there is like a completely different audience on there, like folks that have never been on the YouTube side that really just like the TikTok, I guess, platform and how it works. I've never been on YouTube. Have never seen my YouTube channel or anything like that, but it's always fun to, cross over and explore. And there's going to be a few of you that are going to say, oh, you shouldn't do that TikTok. It's, it's bogus, it's scammery, and all this other stuff. I don't limit myself to those beliefs because it's another tool. It's another platform to get the word out. I may not be the most exciting content creator out there. I'm still producing videos like it's 2008. But come on, we're all in this to enjoy the hobby. Who doesn't like collecting money? And who doesn't like 2 2s and 3 9s as a serial number? Okay, and then we have again some blockers, 7 and 3 right there. So, don't have an emotional attachment to almosts when it comes to fancy serial number hunting. If it's not all the way, then just go ahead and 4848. Oh God, where's the other 4848? Yeah, that would have been what they call super repeater. Someone had mentioned, hey, Blue, where's a good place to learn more about fancy serial numbers? And that's a great question because in all honesty, there really isn't a whole lot of great resources out there, okay? There are, of course, a few auction houses that sell quite a few fancy serial numbers. The biggest one that comes to mind is Heritage Auctions, and they sell fancies every single week. So if you wanted to, you could go and check out some snippets of different types of market acceptable fancy serial numbers. But aside from that, really, the only great website that I entrust, because the person that runs it truly has a grasp over the market and the importance of fancy serial numbers, and that's coolserialnumbers.com. It's a e-commerce site because the owner of that website sells notes, but at the same time, it's all educational. You can go in there and find out what the major, really well collected serial numbers are. So when you're out there and you want to, try this on for size, you just open up that website and voila, you're going to know exactly the type of notes. But there are also other minor type of fancy serial numbers that you should pay attention to, like if there's, 5 of any one number, especially 7s and 8s. 7s and 8s, if you come across them and they're a pretty good run, then you're going to be in good shape. So another birthday note, May 2nd, 5,255. Alien attack. I don't know what's going to come up in 4,000 years. All right, so this is our last final $50 bill. I really love this design. I think it's 100 times better, no pun intended, than a $100 bill. All right, so now we're into some Andrew Jacksons here. So we got some 20s. I don't know. I probably have about $1,000 worth here. So this is, again, some of you are going to be asking, well, what can I do to, build an eBay presence? And there are going to be people that don't like eBay, and that's fine. It is what it is. There are just some people that either couldn't get a hang of it or they had 1 or 2 bad experiences and they've completely checked out of the platform. But, do things like I'm doing. Okay, you find one really good bill. Again, searching through dollars is the most worthwhile denomination to work through because you could get more for less. And, for every find, a birthday note with a dollar bill sells for between 10 and 20 bucks. I've sold a few of those. All right. And, it's easy. Man, this is like shooting fish in a barrel easy. It's just searching. You have time on your hands. You don't have to give up your 9 to 5, or your regular job. Do this on the side. Build a presence, because when you start out on eBay, there's the whole, not just learning curve, but you got to season your store a little bit. They're not going to allow you to just come out guns a-blazing and post whatever you want. There's a cap to the amount of items that you could list on there. 999 again. So, and a teller mark right there. It's a waxy kind of teller mark. A wax booger. But yeah, definitely take your time with it. I tell most folks, I know of a few people that I've personally groomed to build an eBay presence where they're doing nothing other than hunting for the cheap and then turning around and selling it for a lot more than that. It generally takes 12 to 18 months. Okay, it's not an overnight thing, obviously. But, again, the more that you list on your store, the more of a presence you're going to have. If you can think about, the first time that you've opened up your eBay and you've posted stuff on there, and, you started out with that first 20 items. And it's like, man, I'm ready to put another one up. You sell one and it gives you permission to, throw up another item and all that stuff. Yeah, the first few months will be kind of tedious, but, you could get to a point within the first 60 days where you could begin to, list 100, 200, 300 items pretty consistently and, really, really go to town with that. And then that's part of the fun. And then you're sitting there, you're ordering, like bubble mailers and envelopes from Uline, and, you really got a business going. And then you're doing bookkeeping and doing all sorts of tracking and stuff like that. And this is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. I had an Amazon store, and I didn't like it nearly as much, and that's why I got out of it. And then now we're doing eBay, and it's been fun. It's been very successful, and I love it. I love waking up in the morning and finding out that I sold like 3-4 items. And that's kind of the ticket. It's the kind of thing that is that self-operates throughout the day, even while you're asleep. So that's kind of like one of my favorite things about it. And if you think about the philosophy that comes with keeping your foot on the gas and just keep going, it's like life, right? At one point, do we not want to give up? And then when we do give up, it's kind of deflating. We're a little bit hard on ourselves at that point, but there's going to become a time that you're going to get through the process of grieving about, where you're at in your life. And then you're going to turn it around and say, I'm not going to let this defeat me. Yeah. Who would have thought that on Blue Ridge Silverhound, you're going to get kind of like, a little bit of advice when it comes to psychology and, family, not family. Yeah, I'm not there. So if we covered this up, we got a nice little short fancy there. 22323. But when you open her up, yeah. Another thing, trinaries, which are any three numbers mixed in a single serial number. Yeah, I have a hard time selling those. Yeah, and they suck, to be honest with you. I don't personally think that they're a real fancy serial number. I guess depending on the trio of numbers, if they're all kind of like sequential, like if you have a serial number with 6, 7s, and 8s, then that might be something that you can market. But generally, I don't like to waste my time with listing something like that, because on eBay you do have your first 200 listings are free. You don't have to pay that 30 cents per listing. I know you can put up to, I guess, 12 photos or something to that effect on there. So yeah, we're really not getting anything that's really floating our butterfly here. Oh, that's interesting. February 12th, the year 241. Now you guys can go ahead and type that in and see what happened 1900 years ago. I don't know. You just never know. But, if the 4 was another 0 or a 1 or a 2, that'd be a trinary. So, yeah. Anyways, continuing on. We're almost done. And then you guys can get your day back, of course. Yeah, go ahead and try it. And again, I highly recommend dollar bills. That's the major ticket. And again, if you found like a birthday serial number, you're going to have a hard time trying to get anything over $20 for the face value for a regular birthday note than you would, say, if it was a dollar bill. You could sell it for between 10 and 20 bucks. So again, the ratio of profit to face value is so much more higher and deeper with lower denomination stuff. So I can't stress that enough. And I've had folks that, again, no star notes either. That's weird. That have reached out and said, yeah, I have this really nice, birthday note or, low end fancy, like a repeater or a radar on $100 bill. I'm like, how much can I sell this for? I'm like, well, you're going to struggle to sell it for over face value. If you sold it, for example, for $120 shipped, all right, you're going to make no money. After fees, which is 13%. And shipping, yeah, there's no profit there. You might even lose a few bucks. So we got another teller mark there. Almost done. Almost done. We have probably 60 bucks left to go here. 80, 90. Ugh. Okay, so this is actually a decent one. I'm glad we were able to pull at least something. Thank goodness. July 11th, 2004 is a great birthday note. I could probably post this online. Sorry, I have a bird chirping like really loud in my ear. You guys probably hear it too. I could probably sell this for double face value. And I think I will too. The note's actually in really good shape. 2013 series. Yeah, that's a keeper right there. So, very, very nice. glad we were able to find that one for crying out loud. All right, yeah, you guys saw it. We have a $5 bill because that's part of the profit. $5 bill right there. So we're going to end it the same way that we began, with nothing really too spicy. So the two most interesting notes, okay, we did come away with a reasonable birthday note of July 11, 2004 on a $20 bill. I'm proud that it's a $20 bill and not $100, because it would just go back to the bank. And we have this bad boy here back from the I guess the Viking kind of Celtic age of history, February 5th, 1115. Go ahead and post in or type it into Google, see what comes out, and see what happened on this date about 900 years ago. 907 years ago, right? Did I get that right? I think I did. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you for joining me this fine morning, going through some currency. We have a winner right there. I would feel a lot better if these were $1 bills, and I could truly say, yeah, that's worth about 20x what the face value is. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, and yeah, you guys should do this too. If you can't find the rolled coins, because everybody's looking for that and everybody's hoarding it right now, give currency a try, because the finds that you get out of currency can make you a whole heck of a lot more money than some of the minor finds that you can find in coins. Believe it or not, that's actually a thing. And people are just, again, they're non-believers. They're really resistant to going through paper money because it reminds them of toilet paper and fiat currency, and they throw all this stupid jargon at you to make you think like, cryptocurrency to the moon and all this other garbage. So anyways, that's going to go ahead and do it. I'm Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure. And the birds say thank you too. There's probably about 50 of them right now holding hands and just letting me have it for no reason. But that's going to go ahead and do it. Hopefully I see you guys on the next coin or currency video. That was a lot of fun. I'll see you guys later.